Welcome to the warm-up number 23, I believe, and still going strong, and will continue to go strong, providing there's somebody turning up. And we're looking later on at the mixolydian scale in our little warm-up. That will be G mixolydian concert, A for tenor, saxophones and trumpets, and E for alto saxes. I'm just looking around for the various instruments we've got in front of me. Okay, so the mixolydian scale, we'll do the usual things to start with, though. We'll do a little bit of clapping just to get our heartbeat up a bit and into the bit of the rhythm. And the rhythm I thought we'd start with is just it's going to be all off beats, but you get plenty of time to sort out your off beats. So I'm just going to put onto the screen the instructions, I suppose. If possible, get your feet tapping left, right, just to help the coordination and the timing. I'm going to put a metronome on as well, and I want you to clap on the end of one. So that's 1 and 2, 3, 4 for 4 bars. Then the end of 2 for the next 4 bars. The end of 3, so that'd be 1, 2, 3 for the 4 bars after that. Then the end of 4 for 4 bars, and then go back to the beginning, do it all again. And I've got my little egg timer here, so I will put that on for a minute, and so we don't keep going on for the rest of the day. And then just watch out, as I said at the bottom there, for the change from the last and of 4 to the end of 1. It's very short and very quick. It might catch you out. So just watch out for that. But let's get the metronome going. And if you just like to get your feet tapping left, right, or right, left. I hope you can hear that. And after 4, we'll start the clap. So at the end of 1 for the first one. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, end of 2, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4. Now the end of 3, 1, 2, 3. Now 4, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to the end of 1, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, and a 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 4, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 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 and 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2. We're back on 1 now. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 2, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and a 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and a 4, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. Good. The little timer has just run out, so that's a whole minute of off beats. Good. Okay, let me just get that off the screen. And it's a bit disconcerting because I can see one or two of you clapping away, and you clap it. The visuals are all slightly out of time with everything else. So you're not out of time; it's the visuals are out of time. So I was finding that I was seeing somebody clapping at a different time to me. But anyway, that's my problem. Right, let's move on now with a bit of a warm-up of your instrument itself. So just grab your instrument. And I'm just going to go bang, 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 bang on the note G, concert G. And you can play some long tones or some scales or anything that's suitable for your instrument to warm it up. And just concentrate on the actual sound and the feeling of the note. And you can look at your instrument as well if you want. And try and let other stray thoughts that wander in, try and get them to wander off again. and just stick to the concentrating on the notes that you're playing. So here we go. I'm just going to go dun dun dun. So just join in with some long notes, all plucking. Keep going. I'm just going to put the timer on again. That was a minute, and be an interesting thing to do, to just set a minute timer going and then get everyone to stick their hand up when they think a minute is over. And I bet everyone comes up with a different response. Anyway, okay, let's move on now. So the next thing we'll do is the chromatic scale. So that's all the notes from concert G to concert G, all semitones, and tell you what, let's do it in descending order first of all. Let's start with descending. So we're going to go from G down to G, concert G, and pick any octave. If you're finding this very easy, for example, try a different octave, or maybe use, if you're on a piano, use more than one finger. If you want to challenge yourself, if you just want to use it as a warm-up, then just carry on as playing it normally. So, okay, here we go. We're going to start on... I'm going to start on that note. You should have something commensurate with that. Here we go, after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do that again after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, we'll do the opposite now. So we're going to ascend from that low note all the way up to the first note again. So starting with the low note this time, going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, starting on the low note, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. So this time we're going to join the two up. I'm going to start on the high one though and come down to the low note, then back up to the top one. So we're doing a dip down rather than a climb the mountain up. So try and get all your notes nice and evenly sounding. Same volume, same pressure, same general timbre. And here we go, starting with the high note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now up. That's good. Okay, let's again, starting on the high, 1, 2, 3, 4. And up again. And for the last time, starting on the high note, 1, 2, 3, 4. And up. 2, 3, da, 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 da. Okay, good. Well done, everybody. Hope that was okay for you all. And that was our chromatic scale. Okay, moving on now with the usual thing, the little rhythms. So I'll just put that on the screen. And where are we? There we go. Right, we're starting off with some rhythms which jump in intervals of a dominant seventh. So that's up to the flattened seventh or the minor seventh, whichever you like to call it. So if it's from a G, it's going to go up to the F, not the F sharp, up to the F, which is the significant interval in the mixolydian scale. That's what makes that sound different to the major scale, is the fact that it's got a dominant seventh. Now, classical musicians amongst you will notice straight away I've put some dynamics in under the notes. Everybody else probably didn't notice that, because that's the sort of thing that we tend not to see on music if you're playing rock, pop and jazz and so on. But I've put some F's and P's under the notes, and by all means play those notes louder or quieter, depending on whether they're fortissimo or pianissimo. It means that if you see an F underneath, you play all the following notes at that volume, that dynamic, until you see another instruction. So we'll do it one bar at a time though, so at least the top line, and it's just adding another layer of complexity in it really. So let's give it a go. Bar 1, nice and easy, just jumping from the G up to the seventh, up to the F. If you want to recognize that interval, and this Dave might appreciate this, Dave with the background, because it's the opening interval of the old Star Trek theme. So if da da, so if you hear that da 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 da, if you hear that interval, then you know you're listening to a dominant seventh. There aren't many tunes which start on a jump, such as the intro to the opening to the Star Trek theme, the original series. Okay, bar number 1, repeated, looped. Here we go. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Loud, soft. One more time. Okay, that's bar number 1. Move on to bar number 2. Again, I've put the P halfway through the bar. It might have been easier actually put the P under the note before it, the third note of the bar. But it's quite hard to jump from a loud to a soft one in that space. But here we go. Bar number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. Good. Well, it gave me a couple of attempts there to get that right, so It's very easy typing these onto a computer, you know, all these notes in complicated patterns, but then I sit around and think, how am I going to play that? Right. Okay, moving on to the next one, and this one's got a little triplet phrase in the middle there, but it's going to be a fairly recognizable phrase when you hear it. So here we go, bar number 3, looped, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. Okay, moving on to the 4th bar, and this will sound very similar, except it's got a semi-quaver rather than a triplet quaver. But you tell me if you can tell the difference when I play it anyway. Here we go, bar number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. Okay, some very similar patterns there. Let's play the whole top line. We'll loop it 3 times. How about that? So top line 3 times. 1, 2, oops, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, on to the second line now, and we're going to look at the first 2 bars as a phrase. Just in case you haven't spotted this before, I put double bar lines when I remember to separate separate phrases. So we've got a 2 bar phrase there, double bar line at the end to indicate the end of that phrase. So yeah, so the bars, these first 2 bars on this line, the second line on your sheets. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Okay, that's that one. This is concentrating the mind, isn't it? Let's do the next 2 bars on that line then. Some semiquavers and rests. Woohoo. And again, it's one of those sort of patterns which, when you hear it, you suddenly think, "Oh yeah, I kind of know what's going on there." If you're not a great sight reader like me, it's one of those things where nice to hear it first before you actually play it. So here we go. That's a 2 bar phrase. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. And that's that particular phrase. Right, that's quite a stretch speed for certain instruments, depending on your experience. But okay, we'll move on. I'm not going to loop those two. You'll probably be pleased to know. Let's move on to the actual mixolydian scale itself. So on to the third line of the sheets now. And so the mixolydian scale is, as I say, it's a major scale with a flattened seventh. We're doing G mixolydian for concert people, so that means it's actually the same notes as the scale C major, which is why it's sometimes known as a dominant seventh scale, because it's acting a bit like the fifth scale of the scale. The word scale being used too often there. So anyway, in the key of G mixolydian, it's just all natural notes, all the white notes of the piano. I've given it a little rhythm there, and we're going to play that. So that's just a down, da, down, da, down, da, down, da rhythm. Just the first bar, first of all, just the ascending mixolydian scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all. After get 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Last time. Okay, and I'm sure you know what we're going to do next. That's the descending one, which is the second bar of the line. So same scale coming backwards with the same rhythm applied to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, last time. That's it. So that's a mixolydian scale descending. We'll play those two bars now, up and down, actually as written. So you will end up playing the top note twice, and the bottom note twice for that matter. We'll loop it. So we're going to loop those two bars for a short while after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. Okay, so that's the mixolydian scale itself. What I've put on the next two bars is simply the arpeggio of a mixolydian chord, G7, so the dominant seventh chord, so the root, the third, the fifth and the seventh. So you can use that as a reference if you like, but we won't actually play that now. So let's move on to the next line. This is again the mixolydian scale in rising intervals. So we start on the G, concert G, and then move up to the second note, then back to the G, up to the third note, and back to the G, up to the fourth, back to the G, up to the fifth, up to the sixth, up to the seventh, and up to the octave. In a little pattern of rising octaves. If you're playing an instrument such as a guitar or a piano, have a go at singing along, singing to your notes, just to hear those intervals coming out of your mouth. Right, here we go. So, as written, all four bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. chord. Again, 2, 3, 4. Boom, ba, boo, ba, boo, bee, boo, ba, boo, ba, boo, ba, boo, ba, boo. And for the final time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, do, da, do, dee, do, da, do, da, do, dee, do, da, dum. Okay, that's the mixolydian scale in rising intervals, and the mixolydian scale is used a lot by blues musicians and jazz musicians, and I dare say classical musicians as well, although they wouldn't necessarily think of it in this approach. But and it's a scale used predominantly over a dominant seventh chord, so in the key of G, rather in the G mixolydian will be played over a G7 chord if you were looking to improvise. What I've got at the bottom there are just a couple of lines. They're probably a bit more like bass lines or guitar lines rather than the sort of thing you'd play on a flute or any other instrument, but they're still little practice lines. So let's look at that first one, mixolydian scale line, and it just starts on the low G, immediately jumps up to the octave G, and then comes down the mixolydian scale. I'm just going to slow it down slightly because it's a couple of jumps in there. So we'll just do that for a little while, then the next one, and then we'll strum our way out of the morning session. So here we go, a little bit slower. And this is dum 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 dum, because it's of course we're talking in terms of quavers here. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just loop that for a short while. After 4, 2, 3, 4. And again. One more time. Okay, there's a little run there on the mixolydian scale. And finally, a little riff from a tune which is written in the mixolydian mode. And it's a tune called Memphis Underground. It's something that came out in the 60s by Herbie Mann. And it's based on a bass riff. The bass player plays this particular riff. It's actually in a different key, but I've moved it into G for us. If I play the riff first, you might even recognise it, and then just join in with that musical pattern. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. The speed caught me out. Let's have a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Okay, that's just a little extract there from Memphis Underground, and you can go and look that up, and if you want to have a listen to the full thing. Right, okay, well, we're just going to strum our way out of the session, and those of you not aware, the Jazz Fix is no longer on a Friday morning. It's moved to Monday evenings starting next week, so no great rush to disappear unless you've got other reasons to have to finish now. But so we're just going to spend the last couple of minutes strumming some chords in the G mixolydian mode, and of course I've put all the other keys up there as well. So, well, there's a barrage of chords there. If you're not familiar with some of the chords, the full names, F major 7, for example, or C major 7, you can just play the basic chord F or C and it will sound fine. But I'll just put all the sevenths in there for the complete sound. And so, as usual, I'm just going to strum along in a kind of strummy sort of way. You can strum along with me. You can improvise using the scale we've just played if you want to, or make up some melodies that will fit over all of these chords. So that G7 mixolydian scale will work on any of those chords. And so you can solo, or you can just make up a bass line, or just play chord tones, all the usual possibilities, just to wind down from the warm-up. Here we go. I'm just going to do 2 bars on each chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the beginning, 3, 4. Back to the beginning, 2, 3, 4. Go around for one more time and finish on the first chord, 3, 4. And there we have it, the mixolydian mode. Okay, that's it for today, everybody. Thank you very much for coming, as always. I do enjoy it, and it's great to see so many people coming along and taking part. Just a quick plug for, because I got the chance now to tell you, the Interplay are playing at the Fox and Hounds in Cockclarks, just east of Chelmsford, on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. If you can be there, it's in the garden, so nice and safe and sunny as well. Okay, let's get that off the screen. And good, nice to see so many of you. You can unmute yourself if you want to say goodbye.
Thank you very much, David. Bye-bye. Bye,
Thank you,
Ray.
Dave. Bye, Chris. Bye, Dave. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Hello, Barry.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, David. See you. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello, Owen, as well. 1, 2 people just joined. Yeah, hiya. Bye, then. Thanks a lot. See you next week.
Bye.
Dave?
Yes, hello.